PD Beats here from Pop Turnus, speaking to Alexander Arnold about the shark thriller, The Last Breath. Welcome to the show, man. Thanks so much for being here. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. Thanks, Peter.
Yeah, I mean, it's shark season.
It is.
And you are in a shark movie.
Yeah.
And you're in a very good, fun shark movie. I mean, I'm just wondering, because it's not just a shark movie. There's a lot of really unique things about this movie, right? So, like, what would you say drew you the most towards this script? Was it the sharks? Was it the survival component? I'm curious about it.
I was quite curious just to know how you would, try and survive something like that. You know, it is quite unique. Going into a sunken World War II vessel, and it's got those elements of the sort of classic kind of shark genre to it. But yeah, I mean, obviously I've never dived before as well, and just as an actor, it's great to be able to learn new skills and do all that kind of stuff. But and yeah, this character, he's maybe from the outside you see he's quite insufferable, but very fun to play, and yeah, really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, like, I don't know if we can say he's a villain, but he's an opportunist. Let's be honest, right? He wants the likes, he wants the views.
He's definitely, yes, he does. He does want the likes, he wants the views. He might call himself a villain. It's funny. I was thinking, like, when you see interviews of actors and they say, the villain doesn't know he's a villain, so you don't play. And that's true. Obviously, it's true. And it's true for Brett as well. But also, I think he kind of does maybe like being the villain. He maybe watched American Psycho and based a lot of his personality around Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
On Wall Street. So he likes to be the villain. But yeah, he's the main antagonist, maybe, other than the sharks, I guess, in the film.
Oh, absolutely. So much happens before you go to camera on this movie, right, Alex? Like, it's one of those things where, like, you have a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of meetings, a lot of figuring everything out, and then you go film it. So in a lot of ways, from a storytelling acting perspective, you could see it as two journeys, right? Before filming The Last Breath and then after filming it. Or for you, do you see it as one big journey with multiple steps from a storyteller acting perspective?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely preparation, and there's things you've got to work out about the character. I mean, for a large part of this, the film, I'd say maybe almost 3/4 of the film is shot entirely underwater. So a huge component of it was learning to dive, and what we did as a cast. We were taken to Malta and had a sort of intense week of kind of getting our paddies and everything, and so that was a huge component to it. And was an experience I won't forget. We had such an incredible dive team, Dive Med, shout out to them in Malta, who really put us through our paces, but also just had the loveliest woman, Abby, who was just like the calmest person that you want on set. So yeah, but yeah, to go on what you said, I guess there's the preparation part and working it out and doing all that stuff, and then it's just doing it, and trying to hope everything that you've learnt or that you've discovered about the character is going to come out, hopefully subconsciously or otherwise. But yeah.
Absolutely. When you're watching this film as an audience member, and you get this with obviously a lot of like horror films, a lot of shark films, because that's the point. It's like the tension, and it's like the get out of there, like escape the shark, get out of there. You know what I mean? And then this movie, literally, I would say there's like, like a good hour of that as an audience member where you're just like, get out of that area. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
are you ever conscious of the audience member watching this movie while you're making it at all? Or is it kind of something that you think about a little bit after you wrap?
It's usually something I do think about after I wrap, to be honest with you, because a large part of it, as I say, is preparation and trying to make sure that you're going to be there and present in the moment. But yeah, I think when you break down a script, maybe you can see that there's going to be certain beats to hit, and there's going to be, it is on, I guess I was going to say the shark genre. There is a sort of a shark genre film. It's its own genre now. And so you understand that there's those elements to it that audiences are going to react to and understand. So, yeah, I think, I mean, largely I'm just trying to focus on what I'm doing, but hoping that it comes through to the audience. And
maybe there's some things in the script where you're like, oh my goodness, this is going to translate to a lot of like
Oh
freaked
yeah.
out audience
Yeah.
members. But yeah, I get it. It's not like a thing you're like, it's not like a center of attention thing. Absolutely.
No, I mean it's great watching like some of the other guys and them filming their stuff, and
Mhm.
that was great. And just seeing like, oh, this is going to be such a great part for the film. So I did get to watch some of the playback of other people, so that was great to see it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Shifting gears a little bit, you were on Skins, and that was one of those shows that just had so many kind of iconic moments, iconic scenes, throughout so many seasons. You probably have one of my favorite scenes of all time in Skins because I'm a big metal fan. So like the drowning pool
Oh,
with the bodies hit the floor, amazing. I have something really crazy to tell you about that I
okay.
was trying to find the photo, but I could not find it. But when you get up and you start singing it and you take out the t-shirt, that Cancer Bats t-shirt, I had that t-shirt growing up.
Oh,
Because they're
amazing!
from
It's a great
Canada and I
t-shirt.
grew up in Canada and I had that exact shirt, man.
Yeah. That's great. I love that. I
But I
think.
tried to find the photo to send it to you because it's
Oh
such a cool
man.
full circle. But like, I used to love Cancer Bats and that exact shirt, that black one with the
Yeah.
yellow bats on it. I had that
Yeah,
t-shirt.
it's really cool, isn't it? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I've got that somewhere, I believe, because I did keep a few things from Skins, obviously. So maybe you find
If I
yours and
find mine, then we can like if we ever meet up, we can take a
yeah,
photo together. It'd be like the coolest thing ever. I'll probably frame that. To be honest with you, if we ever take that
I'll frame
photo.
it.
What was that like? Because it's interesting because I was really excited when you were talking about Last Breath and like the villain and playing the villain and everything and preparing. And
Yeah.
in Skins, your character, like a lot of characters, was lost, self-reflection, coming of age, figuring everything out, right? So I'm just
Mhm.
wondering, in your experience there, like, what was it more like fun or more challenging playing characters that were lost? Because like in a lot of ways, like they don't know they're lost, right? It's interesting to think about.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, it's always great to try and discover and understand where someone's coming from. And I try and do that with every role, I suppose. So yeah, I mean, I like to have something that I can try and work towards and discover in a role. So yeah, playing those characters is really interesting, and it really,
Yeah.
it's the stuff you look for, I guess, as an actor. Yeah, totally, totally.
It's interesting because it's like, um uh, I just find that interesting because you read these scripts and then you basically see these characters come alive, right? Even when you're on set, you look at the little clips on Video Village and everything. And
Mm.
the scripts are so complex and so it's just kind of like it can go either way in terms of how it kind of looks on screen, right? You know what I mean? And there's so many factors. Do you think about things like that at all? Like even with Last Breath, like the script to screen journey is very interesting, right? But it's overwhelming too.
Yeah. I mean, it's never going to be, it's never going to be exactly like the script, and it's always great when you find little moments and things. I mean, in this, I really had a bit of a free reign. I mean, Joachim, the director on The Last Breath, who's brilliant. He kind of, when I met him, said, this character, he's kind of do what he wants, really.
Yeah.
And so I mean, yeah, there's moments of improv and stuff which I really enjoyed doing. There's a scene where my character, I don't think this wasn't in the script, ends up kind of serving drinks behind a bar while we're sort of partying, and I think I just ended up around. We were all kind of improvising with the extras that were there, the
Yeah.
and I just sort of ended up being behind the bar and serving people drinks. So that kind of made it into the film a little bit. So
Yes, it
that was really
did. Yeah,
fun.
that's awesome that
Yeah.
was improv. I remember that scene exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
It was great. It's great fun. All those things. I mean, yeah, I think this character, he's a bit extreme, and I just thought, I can kind of do what I want really with it.
For
So that
sure.
was great. Yeah.
It's funny because when I was in college, we had this like English literature class called tragedy, right? And every tragedy had that like, and we talked about we looked at like Shakespeare, like Othello, and then we even looked at like movies like Thelma and Louise, right? It was really interesting, and it was like there's always that point of no return, right? Where someone
Yeah.
does something that just leads to something tragic, right? And I feel like is your character part of the point of no return in this? Like, can we talk about that a little bit? Is it your fault? Like, I'm wondering.
Yeah, I mean,
they agreed to it. They could have just been like, this guy's the worst. He's thirsty for likes. We're not doing it. But they agreed to it.
yeah, I mean, it's their fault. It's their fault. No, I think, yeah. I mean, part of my, my purpose, Brett's purpose in this film is to kind of drive the plot that way, I guess. And I think he's greedy and he wants to impress, and all of those things lead him and kind of everyone else into danger, really. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously maybe other little things that happen that aren't Brett's fault. I mean,
well, it's funny because, and it's not really a spoiler because people know shark. Like, if they watch a trailer, it's a shark movie, right? But it's like that first scene where like the shark, like one of that first encounters with the shark, right? I'm watching that. I'm like, you're toast. Like, I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like the point of no return.
Won't we?
Yeah.
If you see it, you'll figure it out. But yeah, definitely. I think, my character definitely sort of drives the plot into that kind of direction of leading these characters into
some accomplices because they agree to go with you. Because again, I always think about that too. Are you a horror movie fan? Like, do you like horror movies?
I do.
It's always like a group of 8 people, and no one's able to be like, "That's not a good idea." You know what I mean?
Not a horror film if that doesn't happen. No, yeah. No, I love horror films. Recently, like me and my girlfriend have been kind of going through a few, and there's a couple of releases I'm looking forward to, like Long Legs.
Yes,
I saw you did
absolutely.
Review of.
Shout out to my director of my short horror film, Dakota Dalby, who is in Long Legs. He's in the film as an actor.
Oh, great. Yep. Oh, amazing,
so
amazing.
Give him a shout out there. I'm a big horror movie fan. I will send you a list of horror movies because there's some really amazing ones, man. Like, it's the genre. It's so interesting to me because it's like 2 things, and that's why The Last Breath is really exciting because it's got the horror movie components, but it's like thriller, survival shark movie, right? But like 2 things. One, the genre of horror movies is elevating every week, I feel like, where these new movies are coming out that are scarier, smarter, very innovative. Like, we've never seen it before. There's more ways to scare people, so that's cool because it's a genre that's always been around, but it's just getting bigger and bigger. But then also the horror movie fans eat it all up. Like, they love it all. They watch the thrillers. They watch the shark movies. Like, that's the community is amazing, man. I just want to let you know that.
Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, I think we've had some positive responses so far, and I know that there's going to be, obviously, we've had a kind of UK release so far, and I think in some other countries, other territories. But yeah, the US release, so it'll be interesting to see what they think of it as well.
Absolutely.
And also, we're all British actors playing Americans, so that's another component that we're interested to hear back from. But great
it's all
community,
exciting, man. It's all part of the thriller, horror, survival, like, and it's cool to think about that you're part of, like, people take their shark movie seriously and they have a good time and they have events, right? Shark Week. It's Shark Week, Alex.
Yeah.
So is it cool to know that you're forever part of those festivities? Because The Last Breath will be part of those marathons.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. As I said, like, it's its own kind of genre, isn't it? A shark movie, but part of the kind of thriller horror. But yeah, absolutely.
See, I dressed up too, eh? Just so you know.
Oh, nice. That's lovely. Yeah. I wonder what shark is that? Do you know?
It is. I think I think it's not a great way. I think it might be like a Mako, like one of those. But the name of this clothing company is Le Shark.
Oh, lovely.
And there's
very
a shark
nice
on it. So it's on brand, and it makes sense with the brand because it's a shark.
I have to check them out.
But I can't wait for people to check it out. Alex, it was so great chatting with you, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show, honestly.
Thanks, man. Yeah, great to meet you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. Your Instagram account is just your name if people want to keep update with everything?
Yeah. Alex, I think I got 3 underscores there, and Arnold.
Yeah.
3 underscores Arnold. Should have changed that.
And we will see if it comes home on Sunday. Well, this has been Pop Turn. YouTube.com/Pop Turn for previous episodes. You can catch Alexander Arnold in The Last Breath, an incredibly fun shark thriller horror. Until next time, it says Alex and Peter Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.